You are not here by accident. From the depths of heaven's orchestration, you were summoned, called forth for a divine assignment that only you could fulfill. This is not a casual word. This is not something to skim to save for later or to dismiss as coincidence. Something in the unseen has shifted, and your spirit felt it. That quiet stir, that inner awareness, that undeniable nudge in your soul. This is heaven calling. This is God signaling. And this is a moment that carries weight far beyond what the human eye can perceive. You were brought here because your timing matters. What unfolds next will shake the very ground beneath your feet, not with chaos, but with the power and authority of divine favor. The message you are about to receive is anchored in the principle that God is about to publicly reward you, not with failure, but with favor that cannot be explained by human reasoning. The blessings that are coming will be so bold, so unmistakable, that even those who doubted, overlooked, or wrote you off will be forced to recognize the hand of God in your life. Matthew 6:6 reminds us that God sees in secret, and your private faithfulness has been noticed. Your prayers, tears, endurance, and moments of silence were never wasted. Heaven has been moving in the hidden, collecting evidence of your faith, refining your character, and preparing a manifestation of favor that will be unmistakable and undeniable. This is not the time to question your path, doubt your worth, or underestimate the unseen preparation that has been happening on your behalf. Understand this: your past pain, the seasons of waiting, the whispers that your time had passed, the disappointments and setbacks, they were never detours. They were divine setups. The moments that left you broken, confused, or questioning yourself were orchestrated by God to position you for something extraordinary. Every silent night you spent praying, every hidden struggle, every tear shed without applause has been part of a blueprint only God could design. Isaiah 45:3 declares that treasures are hidden in darkness and secret riches await those who are prepared. What others labeled as embarrassment, God calls excavation. The unseen preparation was never meant to harm you. It was meant to equip you to carry a blessing so significant, so public, and so transformational that no one can ignore the source. But here is the critical point. The favor coming your way is tied to your posture, your obedience, and your positioning. This is why staying rooted, faithful, and surrendered is non-negotiable. Do not rush ahead. Do not allow weariness, frustration, or impatience to speak louder than God's word. You must remain planted where God has placed you. Psalm 123 compares those who are rooted and faithful to trees planted by streams of water yielding fruit in season. Your season is coming because of your steadfastness, not your effort, not your performance, but because of alignment with God's timing and will. This is also a moment to recognize the rhythm of divine preparation. Just as gold is purified by fire, God has been refining your character. He has been burning away dependence on human approval, stripping away the need for validation, and anchoring your identity in Him alone. Malachi 3:3 illustrates that refinement is precise, intentional, and complete. You have endured the fire, and now you are being prepared to carry favor in fullness, favor that will be visible, undeniable, and transformational. The public manifestation of God's reward is not a reward for perfection. It is a reward for faithfulness. It is the unveiling of what has been cultivated in secret, the revealing of what God has prepared, the public demonstration of divine alignment meeting human obedience. The coming favor will not merely satisfy your desires or address your personal ambitions. It will serve a higher purpose. Your testimony, your breakthrough, and your elevation are designed to glorify God, inspire the faith of others, and confirm that what is impossible to man is possible with Him. Your readiness is essential. Declare it. Align yourself. Open your heart fully. Stand in obedience, even when the next step is unclear. The preparation has been meticulous, the timing intentional, and the reward unprecedented. What is hidden will be revealed. What was silent will be celebrated. What was broken will be restored. In essence, this introduction is a call to recognize the weight of your divine assignment. It is a reminder that God is orchestrating a revelation of favor that will surpass all human explanation. Stay surrendered. Stay rooted. Protect your heart. Guard your focus. And above all, trust that the favor coming is tailored for you, calibrated by heaven, and poised to astonish not just you, but everyone watching. Your private endurance is about to become public praise, and the God who sees in secret is about to unveil his glory in your life. What often feels like delay embarrassment or unnoticed suffering is rarely what it seems. Many believe that when life stalls or doors remain closed, they are being abandoned or overlooked. Yet the spiritual truth is far deeper. God is always at work in the unseen, orchestrating circumstances, shaping character, and aligning destinies long before the world can recognize the breakthrough. Your trials, your silent tears, and your moments of seeming obscurity are not random. They are divine setups designed to prepare you for a future that will be too magnificent to emerge without refinement. Every time you felt overlooked, every moment you wondered if the wait would ever end, God was not silent. He was working meticulously in the shadows. Consider Moses, a man called by God, yet forced to wander in the desert for 40 years as a fugitive. To the outside world, his life seemed paused, irrelevant, and even wasted. But every day in obscurity was shaping him for a destiny far greater than a momentary triumph. Moses' time in the wilderness refined his leadership, cultivated patience, and deepened his reliance on God. When the burning bush appeared, Moses was not only ready for the impossible task of delivering a nation, he was positioned to carry the weight of destiny with authority and courage. The unseen preparation was not a punishment. It was a necessary refining process, one that would make the visible breakthrough sustainable and effective. Esther's story follows a similar pattern. An orphan in a palace filled with intrigue and power, she endured a life of uncertainty and silence. Yet every day in that hidden place was strategic. God was positioning her for such a time as this. Esther 4-14. What looked like insignificance and waiting was actually divine placement. By the time she stood before the king, Esther's faith, humility, and discernment had been tempered to receive favor that would alter the fate of a nation. Her elevation was public, but the preparation was private, hidden, and precise. Joseph's journey mirrors this principle as well. Called gifted and divinely favored, he was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned. On the surface, it appeared to be a series of devastating setbacks. Yet in every dark moment, God was collecting evidence of Joseph's faithfulness, integrity, and endurance. When he finally emerged elevated over all the land of Egypt, it was not by luck, timing, or human effort. It was a deliberate unveiling of preparation. Every period of waiting, every moment of invisibility was a necessary stage for a public revelation of favor that would be undeniable. Even Hannah, mocked and barren, experienced hidden preparation. In her sorrow, she prayed, wept, and poured out her heart to God. The waiting was agonizing, yet God was accumulating what she offered in secret, transforming private pain into a public monument of favor. The birth of Samuel, one of Israel's greatest prophets. These biblical illustrations are not merely stories. They are patterns, blueprints for how God works in the unseen before blessing appears in the visible. Isaiah 45:3 declares, "I will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places." What is unseen is never wasted. Every trial, every season of silence, every tear becomes the raw material for supernatural elevation. Malachi 3:3, offers further clarity. God refines like silver testing and purifying character until only the essential remains. This refining is intentional and precise. The fire exposes what cannot endure, the weight of glory burning away dependency on human approval, envy, fear, and pride. The refining process may feel intense, uncomfortable, and even humiliating, yet it is always constructive. It is preparing you to carry public favor without compromise, to step into your destiny with strength, clarity, and authority. What looked like embarrassment, delay, or limitation is actually preparation for public favor and supernatural elevation. Every unnoticed effort, every private act of obedience, every hidden prayer, and every silent endurance has been accumulating as spiritual evidence ready to be unveiled. When God moves, He does not reveal fragments. He unveils fullness. What has been refined in secret will manifest openly. Your character, tested and purified, will sustain the blessing. Your faithfulness will command attention. Your obedience will unlock doors that no human strategy could open. This is the principle of hidden preparation and divine refinement. The unseen shapes the visible, the private conditions, the public, and the silent molds the spectacular. Your trials were never a detour. They were a direct route to destiny. Every moment of preparation, every fire endured, every act of faith without applause has positioned you for favor that is not only undeniable, but also irreversible. The time of revelation is approaching, and it will display the meticulous care with which God has prepared you. The embarrassment becomes elevation. The trial becomes triumph, and the hidden becomes a testimony. Stay rooted, stay surrendered, and trust the process. Your private preparation is God's investment in your public manifestation. What was hidden will soon be revealed, and the favor you have been waiting for will exceed every expectation. The period of waiting of apparent stillness is not a sign of abandonment, but a test of faithfulness. God's favor does not descend upon a life in chaos or haste. It rests upon the vessel that has been prepared, refined, and positioned. The question is not whether the blessing is coming, it is when and in what condition you will receive it. Staying positioned requires conscious choice to remain faithful in prayer, consistent in service, and obedient in small, unseen tasks, even when recognition is absent. Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." Waiting is not passive. It is active engagement in faith, a demonstration that your heart is ready to carry the weight of what God has prepared. Faithfulness in this season manifests in ordinary acts that to the world seem inconsequential. It is showing up when no one applauds. It is speaking life over your household, your workplace, and your own spirit, even when circumstances seem stagnant. It is the discipline of consistency, the quiet obedience that lays the foundation for extraordinary elevation. Every act of faith, no matter how small, becomes spiritual currency, investing in a harvest that will appear suddenly and powerfully. This is why your current position, however hidden or challenging it may feel, is critical. It is the training ground for the visible glory that is to come. Yet positioning is not only about actions, it is also about posture. The heart is the vessel into which favor is poured, and the condition of your heart determines the capacity of your blessing. Bitterness, envy, jealousy, and unforgiveness are spiritual blockages. They clog the flow of grace and prevent the fullness of God's provision from manifesting. Proverbs 4:23 emphasizes this principle. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guarding your heart requires vigilance over emotions, thoughts, and attitudes. It demands letting go of resentment, refusing comparison, and intentionally choosing humility and gratitude. These internal disciplines cultivate a vessel capable of holding the weight of God's favor without distortion or compromise. Equally important is guarding your focus and your environment. Distractions, negative influences, and misaligned relationships can subtly redirect your path, weakening your readiness for the breakthrough that is imminent. Every person you allow close, every habit you maintain, and every distraction you entertain can either strengthen your alignment or derail it. The scripture reminds us in Psalm 1:3 that those planted by streams of water yield their fruit in season. Remaining rooted in the right place, nourished by God's word and consistent prayer, ensures that when the time of harvest arrives, your life is prepared to produce fruit that is both abundant and lasting. Faithfulness also means recognizing that not every opportunity or every moment is yours to seize. Some doors remain closed, not to punish, but to protect. Some relationships and circumstances are pruned from your life, not as loss, but as preparation for a wider platform. The pruning process, though often painful, is a divine adjustment to ensure that your influence is unencumbered, your platform free from distractions, and your vessel ready for the fullness of favor. Even Jesus experienced this principle. He often withdrew from crowds, leaving the familiar to remain in prayer and alignment with the Father. This was not isolation, but strategic positioning for the monumental moments of his ministry. Remaining positioned also requires perspective. It is not enough to wait. You must wait with purpose. Each prayer, each act of obedience, and each surrendered moment builds spiritual momentum. Your endurance and consistency signal to heaven that you are prepared to receive, sustain, and steward what is coming. This is why your private faithfulness matters more than public applause. The blessing is proportional not to visibility, but to the alignment, integrity, and readiness of the vessel. Finally, your posture, persistence, and position create capacity. The favor that God is preparing to release is too weighty to be received in haste, too powerful to be carried by the impatient, and too strategic to fall into a vessel unready for its responsibility. Your current circumstances are not punishment, they are preparation. Your private obedience cultivates a life capable of reflecting the glory, honor, and supernatural elevation that will soon manifest. This is the essence of staying positioned and faithful, recognizing that your consistent alignment, heart posture, and spiritual discipline are what transform hidden preparation into public favor. In summary, to receive the fullness of God's promise, you must remain faithful, rooted, and surrendered. Guard your heart, your focus, your time, and your relationships. Recognize that waiting as active posture matters, and your private obedience prepares the vessel for public manifestation. What appears small today is the seed of tomorrow's extraordinary harvest. Every silent prayer, every act of faithfulness, and every moment of perseverance contributes to a life poised for divine favor that will be unmistakable, undeniable, and unstoppable. The moment of divine reversal is not gradual or subtle. It is sudden, undeniable, and strategically timed by God. Every hardship, every tear, every season of waiting, and every silent prayer has been cataloged by heaven, shaping a narrative that will astonish those who witnessed your trials. Ephesians 3:20 declares that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. This is not merely poetic language. It is a promise that the favor coming into your life will surpass human understanding, logic, and expectation. What once seemed impossible, what felt long overdue, and what was previously hidden in obscurity will erupt into a visible public manifestation of God's power. The key to entering this season is understanding that divine favor is strategic. It is not random. It does not arrive haphazardly. God's favor is an instrument of influence, a multiplier of authority, and a vehicle for expansion. The breakthrough you are about to experience is not only for your comfort, it carries purpose beyond personal satisfaction. Your blessing is designed to extend your reach, enlarge your territory, and establish God's glory in spheres you may not yet fully comprehend. Every door that opens, every opportunity that arrives, and every unexpected alignment of circumstances is orchestrated to maximize impact. Those who doubted, dismissed, or overlooked you will stand witness to a God who honors persistence, faith, and alignment. Blessings in this season are intentionally weighty. They surpass mere convenience and comfort. They are not gifts for leisure. They are instruments of testimony, keys to influence, and seeds for generational impact. What you receive will do more than elevate your life. It will elevate those connected to you and inspire faith in those who have been watching from the sidelines. Think of Joseph, who went from the pit to the palace. The favor that lifted him into prominence did not just rescue him from despair, it saved nations and preserved generations. Similarly, your favor is not isolated. It carries multiplier effects. What appears as personal elevation will simultaneously establish your authority, expand your platform, and glorify God in ways that ripple outward indefinitely. The transformational nature of this favor is undeniable. It will silence critics, confound the proud, and affirm the faith of the brokenhearted. Every seed planted in obscurity, every act of faithfulness, every prayer whispered in the quiet, every endurance of hardship rises as a monument of visible glory. Your life will become living testimony, a tangible demonstration that God's timing is perfect and His methods are flawless. Like Moses, emerging from 40 years in the wilderness, like Esther, stepping into a palace after seasons of hiding, like Hannah, receiving Samuel after years of barrenness, your reversal will be unmistakable. It will not only reverse loss, but create a story of exceeding abundance that leaves no room for human credit, only divine recognition. Yet divine reversal is contingent on surrender. The favor and abundance that God is preparing cannot be fully received if the vessel is filled with pride, resentment, or impatience. What has been hidden requires readiness, a heart refined by obedience, humility, and faithful consistency. God's power moves through those who have been positioned correctly, whose hearts are aligned, and whose lives reflect integrity, even when unobserved. This is why patience, prayer, and posture matter. The breakthrough may feel imminent, but its timing and fullness depend on your continued alignment with God's purposes. Moreover, the nature of this blessing carries both elevation and responsibility. It will not only bless you materially or socially, but spiritually and strategically. Your influence will grow, your voice will be amplified, and your testimony will serve as a beacon for others navigating their own seasons of waiting. The favor coming is not just personal gain, it is divine multiplication. Every favor received will release further favor, creating exponential impact. Your life, once defined by struggle, will now define what it means to rise through God's direct intervention. In essence, what was buried in suffering now emerges in spectacular abundance. Hidden moments of trial are converted into public monuments of God's faithfulness. What was once private hardship becomes visible glory. Every delay, every tear, every moment of waiting, every silent act of faith, these now yield fruit that is unmistakable, undeniable, and transformative. This is divine reversal, a movement where past pain is replaced with surpassing favor, where hidden seeds sprout into public monuments, and where God's glory is revealed through your story. As you prepare to step into this season, remember, your breakthrough is coming, and it will not be subtle. It will not be accidental. It will be abundant beyond comprehension, strategic in its impact, and transformational in its manifestation. What was hidden is now ready to be unveiled. What was delayed is now timed perfectly. The favor that has been building silently in your life is about to explode, publicly glorifying God, elevating you, and inspiring everyone who witnesses it. The stage is set, the favor is prepared, and your readiness will determine how fully you step into what God has been orchestrating. The journey you have endured, the trials, the closed doors, the silent nights of prayer, and the unseen labor of faith has not been wasted. Every hardship, every delay, every moment where you felt forgotten or overlooked has been carefully orchestrated by God to position you for your divine promotion. What may have felt like detours, obstacles, or setbacks were in reality divine calibrations preparing you to step into a season where your testimony becomes a public monument to God's faithfulness. Those moments that once caused pain now serve as the foundation for the elevation you are about to experience. The hidden work of heaven has been shaping you, refining your character, and fortifying your spirit, all in preparation for a visible, undeniable demonstration of favor. Walking into your testimony is more than receiving blessings. It is about understanding the responsibility that comes with favor. Divine favor is not simply for personal satisfaction or comfort. It is a tool for impact, a platform for influence, and a vehicle to glorify God. The public recognition you are about to receive will inevitably carry prophetic weight. Your life, once private and unnoticed, will become a living billboard for God's covenant, a testimony that inspires faith in others, and a strategic vessel through which heaven's purposes are revealed. Just as Joseph rose from the pit to a palace, Hannah moved from barrenness to motherhood of a prophet, and Esther transitioned from orphan to queen. Your journey has been equipping you to carry not only blessing, but also responsibility. This is the core principle of divine elevation. With favor comes stewardship, and with blessing comes prophetic influence. Faithful response is the key that activates the manifestation of your favor. The favor God has prepared is not automatically received. It is unlocked through your consistent obedience and alignment with His will. This obedience is not limited to monumental actions. It is cultivated in the daily, seemingly insignificant moments. The quiet prayers, the acts of integrity when no one is watching, the patience maintained in seasons of waiting, the forgiveness offered in situations where resentment could have taken root, all of these form the spiritual mechanism that releases the favor stored up for you. Every small, faithful act creates alignment with heaven's timing, ensuring that when your breakthrough arrives, you are fully prepared to carry it without being overwhelmed. Living with expectation is essential in this season. Expectation does not mean anxiety or impulsive striving. It is a posture of readiness, confidence, and anticipation rooted in God's promises. It is the spiritual stance of one who knows that divine intervention is imminent and that heaven's favor cannot be delayed any longer. Expectation fuels faith. It positions your heart to recognize opportunities, discern divine openings, and respond promptly to God's leading. Combined with obedience, expectation ensures that your testimony is not only received, but also maximized. It allows the blessings and promotions that come your way to fulfill their full purpose, impacting not just your life, but the lives of those around you and generations to come. Alignment of your heart is equally critical. The favor that God releases is pure, powerful, and precise. It will not flow fully through hearts tainted by bitterness, envy, or self-interest. Guarding your heart, your focus, and your relationships ensures that you remain a vessel capable of carrying what God has prepared. Psalm 1:3 illustrates this principle. They are like trees planted by streams of water, which yield their fruit in season. The tree that remains rooted in fertile ground, consistently nourished, bears fruit at the appointed time. Similarly, your faithfulness in private cultivates readiness to bear fruit publicly. The discipline of guarding your time, nurturing your spiritual life, and practicing integrity positions you to carry your testimony with wisdom and humility. Your testimony will ultimately serve as undeniable evidence of God's covenant and glory. The transformation of your circumstances, from struggle to favor, from rejection to recognition, from delay to divine acceleration, will stand as a living demonstration that God is faithful. Those who witness your breakthrough will see more than a success story. They will witness God's hand in action. Your life becomes a declaration that what was hidden in darkness has been brought into light, that what was delayed has arrived in perfect timing, and that every tear trial and moment of obedience was counted toward a greater purpose. In conclusion, the principle is clear. Obedience in the small private moments activates miracles in the public sphere. Every sacrifice, every act of faith, every moment of trust contributes to the unfolding of your divine favor. Your past has prepared you. Your present positions, you and your faithful response will determine the fullness of your testimony. Step into this season with courage, with expectation, and with unwavering faith. Receive the favor, carry the responsibility, and allow your life to proclaim to the world that God is sovereign. His timing is perfect, and His favor is unstoppable. As we arrive at the conclusion of this revelation, it is essential to understand that activation begins with surrender. The moment you acknowledge your divine appointment, you are stepping into a sacred partnership with heaven. This acknowledgement is not passive. It requires a conscious decision to release fear, distraction, procrastination, and any lingering attachment to self-reliance. Surrender is the key that opens the door for God's favor to flow without obstruction. It is in the act of yielding your agenda, your timelines, and your expectations that the fullness of heaven's plan can manifest in your life. To resist this surrender is to hinder the flow of blessings that have been prepared specifically for you. Recognizing that this is a season of divine activation, the next step is to invite God to refine and purify your heart. Every hidden offense, unresolved bitterness, or seed of envy has the potential to block or dilute the power of your favor. Pray for purity of heart, that God would remove every trace of self-interest and replace it with a spirit aligned with His purpose. Ask for discernment so that every decision you make, every relationship you engage, and every opportunity you embrace aligns perfectly with the divine blueprint He has prepared. Pray for strength and boldness, not only to endure what is necessary, but also to carry the favor and blessing that will soon manifest. The capacity to steward favor is as critical as the favor itself. Without wisdom, elevation can become burdensome rather than transformational. Faithful positioning is another vital aspect of this activation. Guarding your time, focus, and relationships ensures that you remain planted and aligned with God's strategy. Just as a tree needs solid roots to bear fruit, your consistency in spiritual disciplines, your vigilance over your thoughts and conversations, and your selective engagement with the world around you prepare you for what is coming. This preparation is not meant to be passive waiting. It is active stewardship. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every disciplined moment becomes a spiritual investment, building capacity for the generational blessings that God is about to release. The blessings that await you are not merely personal, they carry generational impact. Faithfulness in small private moments transforms into public testimony. Your life becomes a living evidence of God's faithfulness restoration, and reward. Those who observe your elevation will not merely see success, they will see the hand of God, unmistakable and undeniable. Every tear you cried in secrecy, every night spent in diligent prayer, every moment of unseen obedience becomes a part of a narrative that testifies to the power, sovereignty, and perfect timing of God. This is the principle of divine multiplication. Private endurance becomes public glory, and hidden faithfulness produces visible impact. As you pray, declare your readiness to steward what God is about to release. Speak words of surrender and faith over yourself, acknowledging that the favor you are about to experience is not for self-glory, but for His purpose. Ask for the courage to carry this favor with humility, wisdom, and integrity. Declare that you will remain faithful in the waiting, steadfast in obedience, and diligent in alignment. These declarations are spiritual markers that align your heart and actions with the timing and strategy of heaven. Now is the time to internalize this truth, obedience, alignment, and readiness release unexplainable favor. When God moves, He moves in fullness and with precision, turning every moment of hardship into a platform for glory. Public elevation will follow, and with it, a manifestation of His sovereignty that cannot be questioned. The same hands that guided you through obscurity, silence, and trial will lift you into a place of honor, influence, and blessing. Your life will become a testimony that speaks louder than words, proclaiming God's faithfulness across generations. Finally, as you seal this activation in your spirit, understand that you are entering a season where the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. The favor that was once hidden in the unseen will now be unveiled in a way that is impossible to ignore. This is the culmination of years of preparation, refinement, and faithful obedience. Your life will echo with God's glory, and those who witness it will recognize that what you have received is not by chance, but by divine design. Surrender, faith, and alignment are the keys. Stand ready, remain positioned, and allow your life to become living evidence of heaven's promises fulfilled.